Welcome to the Rogers Kakasungura YouTube channel. The first ever Saba Saba commemoration that the Kenya police have decided to protest against themselves. Leo hii, historia imeandikishwa katika taifa la Kenya kama Saba Saba ya kwanza kwa miaka zaidi ya 36. Saba Saba ya kwanza kabisa. Polisi wa taifa la Kenya wakiweka maandamano peke yao bila Wakenya. Wamekuwa wakiandamana Nairobi tangia asubuhi mpaka sasa. Niliambiwa Kisii wameandamana tangu asubuhi, wanapita tu kama they have been protesting. So James Orengo is sending a message to William Ruto. Na anasema the message comes from the ODM de facto party leader Linda Mwananchi, commemorating Saba Saba. James Orengo says, James Orengo was part of the 1990 Saba Saba rallies. He participated in them. So he has a rich history. Today, as we mark the 36th anniversary of Saba Saba, we commemorate a sacred day in Kenya's history. It is a day born of tears, sweat, and blood. On July 7th, 1990, brave Kenyans marched to Kamkonje grounds in Nairobi to attend an end to autocracy, the restoration of multi-party democracy, and the institution of governance, systems anchored on accountability, human rights, and the rule of law. Saba Saba was not just an event. It was a loud, unyielding rejection of the imperial presidency under the culture of political patronage. It was a declaration that Kenya belongs to all its citizens, not a select few politicians who wield public power and resources as personal tokens. As we reflect on this historic struggle today, we must honestly evaluate whether the ideals of which our liberation heroes fought are being upheld to death, or whether we are sliding back into the dark eras of state-sponsored opulence and structural corruption. It is with this context of historical reflection that I must address a deeply troubling trend that directly undermines the spirit of Saba Saba and the letter of our constitution. The growing culture of multi-million shilling weekend rumbles by state officers. Every weekend, Kenyans are treated to a grotesque, hey, Orengo, si kizungu itatutoa meno bwana. Hey, to a grotesque procession of public officials publicly competing to announce donations worth tens of millions of shillings. Over the past weekend alone, We witnessed state officers dishing out individual donations of 20 million, 10 million, and 2 million Kenyan shillings. On this Saba Saba day, we must ask the fundamental constitutional question that our liberation struggle empowered us to ask. Where is this money coming from? Public officer or public office is a public trust. Every shilling controlled, spent, or publicly displayed by a state officer must withstand constitutional scrutiny. When public officials display an image of opulence that is completely disconnected from the painful economic realities facing ordinary citizens who are struggling with the high cost of living, failed healthcare systems, underfunded schools, and struggling county governments, it is a betrayal of the Saba Saba spirit. The original Harambee spirit was built on community solidarity and mutual aid. It was never intended to be a money laundering bazaar or a public relation theater for unexplained wealth. This is why, in keeping with the 10-point agenda signed on the 7th March 2025, which explicitly pledges to promote integrity in leadership, combat corruption, and eliminate the wastage of public resources, we must demand immediate action to number 1, mandatory lifestyle audits. Number 2, full disclosure. The public is entitled to full disclosure regarding the source of these extraordinary donations. Transparency is not a political favor. It is a constitutional right. And lastly, fidelity to Chapter 6 of our 2010 Constitution. Leadership must be measured by adherence to the Constitution, fiscal discipline, and service delivery, not by the size of cash, filled envelopes handed out at weekend rallies. The heroes of Saba Saba did not fight for a country where public officers could become a gateway to overnight unaccountable wealth. They fought for a transparent, just, and equitable society. Demanding accountability today is the highest form of honoring their sacrifice. Lastly, the era of unexplained multi-million shilling donations must come to an end. Let us honor Saba Saba, not just in speech, but through unwavering commitment to integrity, the rule of law, and absolute accountability to the people of the Republic of Kenya. Signed, James Orengo, ODM de facto party leader, Linda Mwananchi, the 7th of July, Saba Saba 2026. God bless you. See you in the next episode. Asanteni sana.